Hi everybody, I am Stephanie Rose, Assistant Outreach Officer at National Museum Jamaica, and today I'll be telling you about an artifact from our collection called the Kreng Kreng. Sounds interesting, right? It's very catchy and it has a nice ring to it. Kreng Kreng. So what is a Kreng Kreng? What does it do? Well, here's a hint. The Kreng Kreng is usually hung over a wood fire. Rings a bell? Maybe you're thinking, I've seen my great-grandmother using it, or maybe I've seen my grandmother using it. All right, so let's talk about it. The Kreng Kreng was used mostly by our forebears before and after emancipation, well into the 1900s. This was a period in our history where our ancestors had to find unique ways to fend for themselves. Now, unlike today, where we have the luxury of using a refrigerator to store or to preserve our meat, back then there was no fridge or freezer or anything like that. So what would happen is when they got small amounts of meat, they would season it with coarse salt, pimento leaf, grains, and all these spices to give it a kick, to flavor it. And then after that, it would be time to cure the meat using the Kreng Kreng. The Kreng Kreng is made from metal like this one that we have in our museum. It's round in shape and it has these protruding hooks going around it with additional wires to hold it in place. And sometimes you see a Kreng Kreng with a basket. And so what would happen is that they would take the seasoned strips of meat and put it on the hooks, and then it would be placed over the wood fire to allow the smoke to begin the curing and the slow cooking and the preservation of the meat. And so that's why they would refer to the Kreng Kreng as a fridge, because it helps in the preservation of the meat. And so today, some elements of the good old days are missing, but it's very important that we embrace our culture, our history, and all those things that makes us uniquely Jamaicans. Thank you for watching. For more information, follow us at National Museum Jamaica on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You can also visit our website at www.museums-ioj.org.jm.